So, when it comes to linting and formatting, what do you think about automating the whole process? I mean, having everything run automatically on Comet?
Well, I guess it could save time in the long run, but setting it up might be a hassle at first.
Absolutely. The initial setup can be daunting. But once it's done, you won't have to worry about format issues ever again. Plus, it enforces consistency across the team.
Yeah, but what if someone doesn't like how their code looks after it's been auto-formatted?
That's where you set clear guidelines up front. You make everyone aware of the rules from day one so there aren't any surprises later. It's all about communication and making sure everyone is aligned with the same standards.
What if we miss something important during the setup phase, though? Like an edge case that breaks the build?
That's why you start small and gradually scale up. Start by integrating just a few checks and then slowly add more as your team gets comfortable with them. It's also good to have some manual checks initially to catch anything automated systems might miss.
But isn't that kind of defeating the purpose of automation?
Not really. The goal is to reduce human error and repetitive tasks. Manual checks are still necessary for complex logic or unusual cases that don't fit into predefined patterns. And over time, you can refine your automated processes based on what works best for your specific projects.
I see your point, but manually checking things gives me peace of mind.
Of course, trust is key here. But think about how much more productive your team would be without spending hours fixing trivial formatting errors. Imagine all the cool features you could implement instead.
True, but changing habits takes time and effort too.
Definitely true, but it's worth investing in because in the end, it streamlines development and reduces bugs caused by inconsistent coding styles. Plus, once people get used to it, they often appreciate not having to remember every tiny detail themselves.
I suppose once everyone gets used to it.
Exactly. Once everyone gets used to it, it becomes second nature. Speaking of which, have you had a chance to look into some of the popular tools for code formatting in JavaScript?
Yeah, I've seen Eslint and Prettier mentioned quite a bit. They seem pretty standard.
Right on. ESLint is great for catching potential errors and enforcing coding conventions. Prettier, on the other hand, focuses more on consistent styling. Combining both can be very effective.
That makes sense. But which one would you say is better for automatic formatting?
For pure formatting, Prettier is usually the go-to tool. It's designed specifically for that purpose and integrates well with most editors. ESLint is more versatile because it can handle both formatting and error detection.
So using both together sounds like a solid approach then.
Absolutely. You get the best of both worlds. Prettier handles the styling consistently, while ESLint catches potential issues and ensures your code adheres to certain standards.
Makes sense. I'll have to give them a try and see how they work out in our project.
Definitely worth trying out. You'll probably find that it simplifies your workflow significantly once everything is set up correctly.
Hopefully the team won't resist too much when we introduce these changes.
Communication is key here. If you explain the benefits clearly and show examples of how it improves code quality and reduces manual effort, most people will come around eventually. Absolutely. Communication is key. And speaking of which, have you noticed how consistent coding styles can really impact collaboration within a team?
Yeah, it definitely helps. When everyone writes code in the same style, it's easier to read and understand each other's work.
Exactly. Consistent styles reduce cognitive load when switching between different parts of the code base or working on someone else's code. It makes the entire development process smoother and more efficient.
I found that when styles vary too much, it can take longer to get up to speed on new sections of the code.
Agreed. Having uniformity means less time spent deciphering different formatting choices and more time actually solving problems and adding features. It also minimizes merge conflicts and makes pull requests quicker to review.
That's true. It seems like maintaining consistent styles is crucial for keeping the project organized and manageable.
Definitely. It sets a professional standard and fosters a collaborative environment where everyone feels confident contributing to any part of the codebase. Plus, it helps newcomers get up to speed faster since they don't need to adapt to multiple coding styles right away.
Makes sense. We should probably enforce this more strictly in our next sprint planning meeting.
A good idea. Just make sure to involve the whole team in deciding on the specific standards so everyone feels included and committed to following them.
That would help a lot with buy-in from everyone.
For sure. With clear guidelines and tools like Prettier or Eslant, enforcing those standards becomes much easier and less contentious. Absolutely. Involving the team in setting those standards is key. Now let's talk about configuration options for Eslant and Prettier. Have you explored their configuration files yet?
A bit, but I'm still figuring out all the nuances. There seem to be so many options.
Yes. There are quite a few settings you can tweak. For Eslant, you typically use an linter-c file where you define rules and environments. You can specify things like allowed global variables or specific syntax rules.
That sounds detailed. How about Prettier? Does it have similar flexibility?
Prettier is a bit simpler but equally powerful. You configure it via Prettier file. It mainly focuses on formatting aspects like indentation, quotes, and semicolons. You can customize these settings to match your team's preferences.
So it's more about appearance rather than rule enforcement.
Exactly. While Eslant can catch potential errors and enforce coding practices, Prettier focuses purely on making the code visually consistent. This separation allows teams to balance strictness with readability effectively.
That makes sense. I've seen people combine both tools in their projects. Is that common?
Very common. In fact, using them together is highly recommended. You can even integrate Prettier into Eslant as a formatter plugin. This way, you get comprehensive linting with consistent formatting out of the box.
Integrating them sounds like a smart move.
Definitely. It streamlines the process and ensures that all your code adheres to both functional and stylistic standards. Plus, it reduces the maintenance burden since you're managing configurations in one place.
I'll definitely look into combining them then.
Great choice. And remember, the configuration files allow you to tailor everything to your team's needs, so spend some time experimenting with different settings to find what works best for you.
Will do. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. Configuring these tools properly can make a huge difference in how smoothly your project runs.